The aloof goddess that all 4 billion men in the city dream of marrying was somehow dragged by my drunk self to get a marriage certificate. Waking up sober and staring at the marriage certificate, I really wanted to slap myself twice. Because the person I married is actually the girl next door who used to bully me when we were kids. And she is a whole 8 years older than me. I thought this loveless marriage would end immediately. But what I did not know was she had secretly had a crush on me for 13 years. Right now, having sobered up, I awkwardly scratched the back of my head. Well, Sister Yuchu, are we really married? Hearing this, Shen Yuchu gave me a strange look and nodded. My face instantly flushed red. Sure enough, I would messed up big time. I would somehow accidentally married a mature woman pushing 30. What the hell was I thinking? Even though the saying goes, marry a woman 3 years older and you will strike gold. Shen Yuchu is 8 years older than me. Am I supposed to strike gold 3 times over? Besides, Shen Yuchu is a billionaire heiress. She is the goddess in the hearts of countless men. No matter how desperate she was to get married, she would never settle for me. At least I have that much self-awareness. Shen Yuchu knew I definitely had a lot of questions, so she simply broke the silence herself. How much do you remember about what happened yesterday? I only remember that yesterday at noon, I joined a beer drinking contest at the hotel. After getting too hyped up, I do not remember anything. Shen Yuchu's lips subconsciously curled into a charming smile. I happened to be there discussing business yesterday. When I was about to leave and pass through the lobby,
I saw you drinking alone, completely wasted.
I kindly wanted to take you home, but you kept yelling about wanting to get a wife and grabbed onto my clothes, refusing to let go. Saying this, Shen Yuchu pointed at her neck. On her fair skin, there was a noticeable patch of red. Hearing this, I was desperate to know what happened next. And then, did we? Do the deed. Shen Yuchu rolled her eyes. No. After the security guards pulled you off me, you kept shouting that you wanted to grab the prettiest woman. And no one could stop you. In the end, you forcibly dragged me to the Civil Affairs Bureau. The prettiest woman. Hearing this, I seem to recall a little bit. I looked Shen Yuchu up and down, even though I was drunk at the time. My taste was definitely still on point. I froze for a moment and asked, did not you fight back? For some reason, Shen Yuchu's pretty face turned red. She pointed to her shoulder.
I did.
But you were tugging at my clothes like a madman. You even snapped the strap of my top underneath. I had also drank a little, so I was feeling a bit dizzy, and there were no security guards in the taxi. I am just a weak woman. How could I match your strength? At this point, Shen Yuchu curled her sexy red lips, but a hint of a smile secretly flashed in her eyes. My eyelids twitched. I wanted to cry but had no tears. It seemed my image in front of Shen Yuchu yesterday was completely ruined. I'm sorry, sister. Yuchu, it is all my fault. I was drunk and bullied you. You can hit me or scold me, whatever you want. You can even tell my old man about this and have him beat the crap out of me to vent your anger. Alcohol really is a terrible thing. Getting a wife just from drinking too much, what even is that? And this wife happens to be the eldest lady of the Shen family who watched me grow up. Shen Yuchu shrugged her elegant shoulders. A trace of helplessness flashed across her delicate face. What is done is done. What matters is the solution. Are you going to take responsibility for me? Or should I tell your dad and make him force you to take responsibility? Take responsibility? Could it be that she likes me? I was stunned for a second. Then I noticed the teasing smile in her eyes. That is when I realized Sister Yuchu was just joking. Makes sense. She has countless suitors. Why would she need a guy like me to take responsibility? Sister Yuchu,
let us get a divorce.
I will definitely find a way to make it up to you later. I was wrong for what happened yesterday, but I can't hold you back. Before I could even finish, Shen Yuchu suddenly took a deep, resentful breath. Divorce.
You want to divorce me?
The moment that bitter tone came out, it was my turn to be dumbfounded. What else? We do not have any emotional foundation. Am I just supposed to spend the rest of my life with you like this? Shen Yuchu sighed in frustration. Do you know there is a 1-month cooling off period for divorce now? Not to mention, after getting divorced,
I will be a second marriage woman.
Could it be that you have a little girlfriend and you're afraid she will find out? No, I swallowed hard, not for any other reason. But because her resentful look right now was just too damn charming, it made my heart race. Then, is it because you're afraid I will ruin your chances of finding a girlfriend in the future? The dream girl of every man in Haicheng is already my wife. Why would I even look for a girlfriend? That is not it either. Shen Yuchu pursed her red lips. Then, why are you in such a hurry to divorce me? I was just passing by yesterday. And you dragged me to get a marriage license? You took total advantage of me, and even teased me. And now my new husband, of less than 24 hours, wants a divorce. My Adam's apple bobbed involuntarily. Her disappointed look, with her eyes cast downward right now, was absolutely stunning. Sister Yuchu, could you please not make it sound so ambiguous? I will easily get the wrong idea, But on second thought, Sister Yuchu really did have it rough. She is the heiress of the Shen family, a proper lady from a prestigious background. The men who want to marry her could hold hands and circle Haicheng 3 times. If because of me, this goddess that countless men dream about, became a divorcee overnight.
It really would be a bit too much.
But Sister Yuchu, you do not like me either. Are you really going to stay married to someone you do not like? Hearing this, Shen Yuchu suddenly fell silent. I did not know what I was expecting, but my heartbeat inexplicably sped up again. The next moment, Shen Yuchu gently bit her red lip. What if I told you that I do like you? As soon as she said that, my mind went completely blank. What the heck? Sister Yuchu said she likes me. I nervously swallowed my saliva. Are you being serious? Shen Yuchu suddenly burst into laughter. Her smile was like 100 flowers blooming at once, instantly sweeping away all the thoughts in my mind. I am just messing with you. But before you find someone you like, we can play along and make this fake marriage real, no matter what. We really did get the marriage certificate, even if we divorce immediately. There is still a 30-day cooling off period. Why do not we try getting along first? My grandpa has been pushing me to get married lately anyway. I'm so sick of it. Just consider it doing me a favor. Okay. A hint of slyness flashed in Shen Yuchu's eyes. She was secretly plotting her next move. If we really do not feel anything for each other later, we can just get divorced in a month. I hesitated, play along, but I also knew I was in the wrong here. After all, dragging her into marriage was my fault to begin with. But having a mature woman 8 years my senior suddenly become my girlfriend, it was hard to adjust my mindset to that so quickly. While I was lost in thought, Shen Yuchu suddenly leaned in close to me. A waft of sweet fragrance instantly filled my nose. Before I could even react, I was dragged out the door by the arm. Then it is settled. Today, come back with me and help deal with my family. Amidst my wild thoughts, the car quickly arrived at the gate of the Shen family courtyard. I took a look at the surroundings, and the stern face of Shen Yuchu's father popped into my mind. My body involuntarily shrank back. We are meeting the parents this soon. When you had your arms around me getting that certificate, you did not seem scared of this. Shen Yuchu found it somewhat amusing, her red lips subconsciously curling into a graceful smile. So the fearless young man from yesterday's drunken stupor actually had such a timid side too. Sister, can we please not bring that up? Thinking about my crazy behavior, I honestly wanted to move to another planet right now. When we reached the door, Shen Yuchu hesitated and paused her steps. She gave me a blushing look. Can we try to act a little more intimate? I blanked for a second. Only then did I notice that maybe my mindset had not shifted yet. I was still habitually walking half a step behind her, following Shen Yuchu like a little shadow. We are husband and wife now. After all, if we act too distant, my grandpa will easily see through us. Why do not we show a little more affection? As soon as she finished speaking, Shen Yuchu linked her arm through mine without another word. The sensation instantly shocked me, making my face burn up. A sly, victorious look flashed across her pretty face. And this little guy claims he is not interested in me. Grandpa, I am home. Shen Yuchu walked me into the house arm in arm, but the villa's living room was completely empty. However, we could vaguely hear some movement on the second floor. Hearing the noise downstairs, the door to the upstairs study was immediately shoved open, followed by an old man's booming voice. You still have the nerve to come back. Where's my grandson-in-law? Did not you say last time you had a lead? Did not you say there was someone you have liked for years? It has been so long. Yuchu, I'm warning you. If you do not bring back a grandson-in-law this week, do not even bother coming back to this house. Hearing Grandpa Shen's voice, my heart stirred, and I could not help but smile. The old man was just as energetic as he was years ago. Our two families were very close during my grandfather's generation. Both grandfathers used to fight on the battlefield together as real brothers in arms, so even after the Shen family struck it rich, our two families still visited each other often. It was only after my grandfather passed away that our parents' generation slowly drifted apart. See, I did not lie to you.
You pretty much saved my life.
I cast a suspicious glance at Shen Yuchu. Sister Yuchu, the person Grandpa Shen just mentioned.
Who is this guy you have liked for years?
Shen Yuchu narrowed her eyes and smiled. You little rascal. Are you already getting jealous? Of course, I was lying to him. Even if there was someone, are not you my husband now? You have already got me. What is there to worry about?
Stop talking.
If you keep going, I won't be able to handle it. But for some reason, I still felt a little uncomfortable. Shen Yuchu did not notice this and pulled me into the study. Grandpa, I brought him back for you. Grandson-in-law, it is time for you to show your face. Hearing the word grandson-in-law, the old man shot his head up like he had been injected with adrenaline. I felt a bit awkward, wanting to hide behind Sister Yuchu. But besides her having a stronger aura than me, she could not really cover up. A 6-foot-tall grown man, this grandson-in-law is quite interesting. He is actually shy. For a moment, I actually felt like an innocent maiden, meeting the in-laws for the first time. Cough. Cough. Grandpa Shen, long time no see. Fang Yuan, why is it you?
Oh my.
Come here quickly and let Grandpa get a look at you. How long has it been since I last saw our little Fang Yuan? You have grown so tall in the blink of an eye.
Last time we met, you were only as tall as your sister.
The sister, the old man mentioned, was naturally Shen Yuchu. After all, the elders of both families thought. Shen Yuchu and I just had a sibling dynamic, plus the age gap between us was quite significant. So even the two old comrades did not rashly set up an arranged marriage for us, who knew that Oan drunken night would turn my sister into my wife. Thinking about it just made me cringe. Then, Grandpa Shen peeked behind Shen Yuchu again. No one else. Where's the grandson-in-law you promised? Just then, he noticed our linked arms. Grandpa Shen instantly froze and asked tentatively,
Yuchu.
The grandson-in-law you brought back for me. You are not saying it is Fang Yuan, are you? Are you kidding me? Yes, the person I have liked for years is Fang Yuan. Shen Yuchu acted completely calm. Grandpa Shen violently slammed the table and roared. Do you think I'm getting senile? You two are clearly like siblings. Since when did you get so close? Do you think I do not use the internet? You are trying to pull that older woman, younger man romance trope on me. Are not you? No matter how much you want to fool me, you should not drag your little brother in to make up the numbers. I thought to myself, Grandpa Shen, that phrasing really is not necessary. I completely understood Grandpa Shen's logic. If I said I had no feelings for Shen Yuchu before today, that would be a lie. A mature, stunning older woman. No man could resist that. Not to mention, she is multi-talented. Fang Yuan, tell Grandpa the truth. Did your sister drag you here to trick me? Hearing this, I met the old man's sharp, eagle-like eyes. Those eyes felt like they could see through everything. I immediately felt a bit guilty and inexplicably started wanting to back out. Maybe I should just tell the truth. Just then, Shen Yuchu furrowed her delicate brows. Grandpa, I'm not lying to you. We already got our marriage certificate yesterday. That is why I brought Fang Yuan back to see you today. I was worried you would not be able to accept it right away, so I planned to ease you into it slowly. Who knew you were in such a hurry? Grandpa Shen's eyes instantly widened. What the hell? A marriage certificate. You two kids actually got married. He knew his granddaughter's personality very well. Even though she joked around sometimes, she never spoke carelessly about serious matters. Today, both of you better explain to me clearly exactly what is going on here. Shen Yuchu smiled brightly like a flower. I never told you before, but I have actually secretly been in love with Fang Yuan all these years. In my heart, besides him, there is no room for any other man. That is why I refuse to go on blind dates. Even though our two families have not kept in touch much these past few years, I have never been able to forget him. The other day, by pure chance, we confessed our true feelings to each other. It turns out my love was not unrequited. My little brother likes me too. So we got our marriage certificate yesterday, finally bringing our love to a happy ending. Meanwhile, my face was covered in question marks. Sister, are you serious right now? Even though it was obviously a lie, but I could hear a mix of truth and lies in her words. How strange! Is not she supposed to be the victim? Why does it feel now like I'm the little white rabbit falling into the big bad wolf's trap? And I have never even heard this script before. How am I supposed to play along with this? Fang Yuan, is everything your sister Yuchu just said true? Even with Grandpa Shen's composure, he still found it all too sudden. That was a huge amount of information to process. Hearing this, I could only bite the bullet and make up some nonsense. It is true. Actually, I have always liked Sister Yuchu too. From the very first time I saw her, I had an uncontrollable crush on her. I still remember back then. Sister Yuchu had her hair in a ponytail, swinging back and forth, so full of life. It is just that she was a bit introverted at the time, always burying her face in a book. I do not know why, but I just love that quiet and peaceful side of her. As soon as those words came out, a faint blush immediately swept across Shen Yuchu's pretty face. Her beautiful eyes were full of tenderness, and she felt a sweet warmth in her heart.
Keep making things up.
Who was it just now saying he wanted to divorce me? Yuchu gently pinched my arm and let out a soft humph. After hearing my story, Grandpa Shen burst into laughter. Then tell me, you two practically lost touch all these years, so how did you end up back together? I wiped a drop of cold sweat from my forehead. Meeting Shen Yuchu's expectant little gaze, I had no choice but to keep making things up. It happened like this. Before, I always felt the age gap between us was too big, and I was afraid Sister Yuchu only saw me as a little brother, so I buried my affection for her deep in my heart. Then a while ago, I accidentally bumped into her again. That is when I found out she had been waiting for me all along. I was so happy that I confessed my feelings. And then we got together, and finally we went to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get our marriage certificate. Grandpa Shen smacked his lips. So where did you two reunite? Such a memorable place. I might as well buy it as a wedding gift for the two of you. After all, a piece of land does not cost that much. Just listen to that. Are those words that a normal person would say? Let us not do that, Grandpa. I shook my head and waved my hands in refusal. The Shen family might be filthy rich and able to throw money around, but my pockets were emptier than my face. If I accepted Grandpa Shen's gift, and then divorced sister Yuchu later, how heartbroken would the old man be? But Grandpa Shen had a stubborn temper. Seeing that, I would not say. He turned to ask Shen Yuchu, where did you two bump into each other?
Shen Yuchu and I exchanged a glance.
Then spoke at the exact same time. Our voices overlapped. The beaming smile on Grandpa Shen's face gradually froze. So the next second, we both spoke again. Holy crap, can we have at least a little bit of chemistry? Fortunately, Shen Yuchu reacted quickly and coughed lightly. It was like this, Grandpa. That day, I was at Fang Yuan's university looking for a friend and I ran into him. That night, we made plans to go to a hotel together. I see. The old man nodded. Shen Yuchu's explanation made perfect sense. This granddaughter of his, really. The elders of both families always thought they acted like siblings, so no one ever thought of them in that way. Since you two were so in love, you should have told me earlier. If I had known, I would not have bothered setting up blind dates for Yuchu. Fang Yuan, a boy we know inside and out, is the absolute best candidate. The next moment, the old man looked at me and asked, what is the name of your university? Do you have the university president's contact info? I can buy a hotel in a matter of minutes, but for a university, I will need to find someone to negotiate with. Hearing this, a bitter smile flashed across my face. Please stop flexing your wealth. I know your family is the wealthiest in Haicheng. Of course, I could only say these things in my head. Just then, the old man suddenly leaned his head in mysteriously. By the way, since you two are already married, have you guys, done the deed yet? He then crossed his hands together, wiggling his 10 fingers around. Shen Yuchu and I were not children. Both of our faces instantly turned bright red. I let out a dry cough. If we actually did that, would I still be able to run away? Once the news got out, just dealing with Shen Yuchu's suitors alone would be enough to end me. No, not yet. Fang Yuan, do you have some sort of unspeakable problem, kid? Grandpa watched you grow up since you were little. I treat you like my own flesh and blood. If you have any difficulties, you need to tell me straight. As he said this, Grandpa Shen's eyes landed directly on my body. My face instantly darkened with exasperation. I am perfectly healthy. Grandpa! Grandpa Shen finally revealed his foxtail, grinning widely as he said, then you guys better hurry up. My daily life is so dull and boring. If I could just have a great-grandson or great-granddaughter, that would be wonderful. Noticing Grandpa Shen's eager, expectant gaze, I was so embarrassed I wanted to find a hole to crawl into. How was this getting worse the more I tried to explain? I had a lingering, ominous premonition. Right then, Shen Yuchu finally took over the conversation. It is nothing like that, Grandpa. We want to wait until after the wedding. Deep down in my bones, I am still a very traditional person. Do not worry. Within your lifetime, I promise you will get to see your great-granddaughter. Hearing this, Grandpa Shen violently slapped his thigh. Right, the wedding. You two might have the certificate, but you have not been witnessed by both sets of parents, relatives, and friends yet. When do you plan to hold the wedding?
I have checked.
And the auspicious days for Yuchu to get married this year are all in the second half of the year. However, Shen Yuchu shook her head. I do not have time in the second half of the year. I might have to go abroad for a business trip then. Hearing this, the old man was instantly filled with immense disappointment. Do not tell me we have to wait until next year. Does not that mean the earliest I can hold a great-granddaughter is the year after next? Unwilling to give up, Grandpa Shen pressed on. Then, when do you have time? Hearing this question, Shen Yuchu flashed a row of perfect white teeth. I only have a lot of free time this week. Grandpa Shen was stunned for a second. Then, he immediately slammed his fist on the table. Done. Then we do it this week. 3 or 4 days of preparation is more than enough. I will have the butler notify our relatives and friends right now. You two hurry up and go pick out a wedding dress and diamond ring over the next 2 days. Grandpa will pay for everything. As for the hotel, the wedding cars and all that, leave it all to me. You two just need to focus on keeping your relationship stable. and give me a chubby great-grandson as soon as possible. Even as Shen Yuchu dragged me out of the Shen family mansion, my head was still spinning. By the time I came back to my senses, Shen Yuchu's car was already parked at the entrance of a shopping mall. Sister Yuchu, what are we doing here? Shen Yuchu spun the steering wheel, perfectly backing the car into a parking spot. Then she turned her head and gave me a wicked smirk. Is not it obvious? We are trying on wedding dresses. My expression froze once again. Was it just an illusion? Why did it feel like Sister Yuchu was extremely happy? And even a little eager. Dragging her to get that certificate was definitely my mess up, but now I was getting a growing feeling that I was the Owen being played. Afterward, Shen Yuchu led me to the men's suit section. She said with a beaming smile, "Pick out a few outfits you like here. I will come over later and help you decide what looks best on our little brother." Since you are my husband now, take this card. My dowry is in there. Take it and swipe as much as you want. My face instantly flushed bright red again. Why did I have the sudden illusion of being a sugar baby for a domineering female CEO? However, I maintained my bottom line and kept a clear head. I hurriedly pushed the card back toward her. I can't take Sister Yuchu's money. Thank you, sister, but I can earn my own money, and my allowance is enough to live on. I cannot take your money. Hearing this, Shen Yuchu broke into a beautiful smile. Silly. We are husband and wife now. Why keep things so separate between a married couple?
You are my husband.
Is not it perfectly natural for you to spend my money? A smile curled up on Shen Yuchu's red lips. Anyway, my dowry is all yours now. After dropping that bomb, she coolly turned her head and walked off in the other direction. Looked like she really was going off to try on wedding dresses. I then casually strolled around the suit shop a couple of times. With the help of 2 sales assistants, I ended up with 7 or 8 suits in my hands. These were all styles I thought looked pretty decent. I planned to try them on Owen by Owen shortly. Suddenly, a confused gasp rang out from not far away. Fang Yuan, why are you here? I looked over to see a man and a woman walking into the suit shop arm in arm. It was my ex-girlfriend, Ling Zihan, and her new boyfriend, Lu Chen. We had just broken up yesterday. I could not believe they actually had the nerve to walk down the street arm in arm today. They truly deserve each other. Well, if it is not Junior Fang, fancy meeting you here. Lu Chen wrapped his arm around Lin Jihan, as if trying to declare his dominance. He smirked and winked at me provocatively. His words disgusted me so much that I just wanted to leave immediately. All 3 of us were university classmates. Back then when Lin Jihan was in the student union, she was flirting with Lu Chen all day long. I warned her about it many times, but Lin Jihan always brushed it off, claiming they were just classmates. She even said it was because Lu Chen, the student union president, valued her abilities, which was why he kept her close. Later, after graduating from college, this woman actually followed Lu Chen into the Lu family's company, working as his subordinate. The 2 of them were stuck together every single day. 2 days ago, I even caught them red-handed, making out in a cafe. That was why I was so heartbroken yesterday that I went to the hotel to drink my sorrows away. I did not expect to run into my enemies on such a narrow path. While accompanying Yuchu to try on wedding dresses today, I bumped into them again. I frowned. I really should not have stepped out of the house today. Talk about bad luck. What did you say? Lin Jihan's face instantly darkened. Fang Yuan, if you can't keep a woman, do not blame others. Everyone has the right to pursue a better life. Besides, she can only find true happiness with me. You're probably just here to try these clothes on, right? A single piece from here costs half your life savings. Let me give you a piece of advice. If a man does not have money, he should not punch above his weight. Jihan is not a woman you can handle. Whether I buy the clothes here or not, what does it have to do with you? Do you live in the Pacific Ocean? Because you sure like sticking your nose where it does not belong. I curled my lip in disdain and went back to minding my own business, picking clothes off the rack. Seeing my complete indifference, Ling Jihan became furious. Lin Jihan was after all the beauty of our department back then. Even though she was the ON who initiated the breakup, I did not show the slightest intention of trying to make her stay. She believed I should have been devastated, begging her desperately to stay, only to be mercilessly kicked to the curb by her again. Lin Jihan scoffed and blocked my path. This kind of high-end establishment. Do not ever come back here again. For the sake of us knowing each other in the past, I will warn you, that suit in your hand costs over 80,000 yuan. If you accidentally ruin it, we won't be nice enough to help you pay for it. The gazes the 2 nearby sales assistants gave Lin Jihan and Lu Chen were like they were looking at complete idiots. The tragic part was that these 2 had absolutely no idea. This man is a mess. Shen Yuchu's husband. Forget a few measly suits, they literally own this entire mall. Finally, one of the sales assistants could not hold back anymore. She turned to Ling Zihan and said, Fang Yuan is here to try on a wedding suit. If you 2 are not buying anything, could you please not bother our customer? If you continue like this, I am going to have to call security to maintain order. A guy who can't even pull 10,000 yuan out of his pocket. What kind of customer is that? Lin Jihan mocked without mercy. My boyfriend Lu Chen is a Supreme Black Card member at your store.
You better watch your mouth.
Running your mouth off like that, be careful or you will lose your job, right? At that moment, an icy voice suddenly rang out from nearby. Security. Someone is harassing my husband. Just throw them out. Shen Yuchu had changed into a pure white wedding dress. The design was simple yet exquisite. She was the absolute picture-perfect first love every man dreams of. The next moment, Shen Yuchu walked over to me delicately. Little brother, does this own look good? As soon as she said that, I jolted in terror.
It looks great.
Right then, Lu Chen, not far away, dumbfoundedly interrupted us. Fang Yuan is your husband. Seeing Shen Yuchu, he was incredibly shocked too. He could not shake the feeling that this woman looked familiar. As for Lin Jihan, she had already curled her lip into a disdainful sneer, You are Fang Yuan's wife. Fang Yuan moved pretty fast, did not he? It has barely been 20 hours since we broke up, and he has already found his next mark. No wonder you were not upset. Miss, I have to say, is not your taste a bit too terrible? You actually fell for an unwanted loser like Fang Yuan. What exactly do you see in him? The very next moment, a resounding slap echoed throughout the entire suit shop. Say, own more word, and I will have someone throw you out immediately. Lin Jihan was completely stunned by the sudden slap. Someone just hit me. Are you going to do something about it? Lu Chen, what the hell are you just standing there for? Stand up for me. Before Lu Chen could even speak, a team of security guards quickly surrounded them. Lin Jihan had never seen a scene like this before. She jumped back in terror. Uncertainty and fear flickered wildly in her eyes. The burly captain of the security team stepped forward. What is the situation? MS. Shen, who is causing trouble here? My husband and I are here picking out clothes today. And this woman keeps harassing my husband. Send them to the police station. Tell them someone is picking quarrels and provoking trouble, disturbing the public peace. Hearing this order, several security guards immediately closed in on Lu Chen and Lin Jihan. Lin Jihan turned pale with fright. Do not touch me. My boyfriend is a VIP at your mall too. Have you thought about the consequences of touching me? Do you have any idea how much money you will lose for the mall? Lu Chen, show them your VIP card. At this point, Lu Chen had also lost his composure. He pulled out a card and tried to hand it to the security guards. I really am a super VIP at your mall. Even if this lady has the same status as me, she has no right to kick me out. Before he could finish his sentence, Shen Yuchu directly snatched the card from his hand and snapped it in two. As of right now,
You are not anymore.
seeing this, Ling Zihan flew into a blind rage. What right do you have to do that? Do you think you can do whatever you want just because you're pretty? I'm going to sue you. I'm going to make the owner of this mall blacklist you. That is a supreme black card. To get owned, you have to spend over $1 million in this mall. This card is a literal status symbol. I even wanted to post it on my feed to show off my socialite status. Sue me. Have the mall owner blacklist me. Shen Yuchu let out a cold laugh. Listen closely. I am Fang Yuan's wife. My name is Shen Yuchu. So do you understand now? Security, take them away.
What?
She is Shen Yuchu, the eldest daughter of the wealthiest family in Haijiang. At this moment, Lu Chen and Lin Zihan's faces were filled with pure shock. As the two were dragged away, the suit shop returned to its peaceful state. Sister Yuchu,
You were so cool just now.
I swallowed hard. I did not know if it was because Shen Yuchu's small hand was still holding my arm, or because driving away those two annoying jerks felt so incredibly satisfying. Shen Yuchu pinched my cheek and smiled affectionately. So that was your ex-girlfriend, Ling Jihan. She does not look like much. How far did you two go? Mind telling me? I am quite curious. Hearing this, I glanced at Shen Yuchu in confusion. I did not know how to respond. Seeing that I did not reply for a while, a trace of disappointment flashed in Shen Yuchu's eyes, and her voice grew slightly quiet. Did you hold hands? Or did you already do that? What the heck? What is she talking about? I was terrified and frantically shook my head. Sister Yuchu, what are you thinking? Lin Jihan always looked down on me. How could we have taken things further? In 3 years of college, holding hands was the most we ever did. The moment I said that, Shen Yuchu's beautiful eyes instantly lit up again. The disappointment on her face vanished without a trace. The next moment, Shen Yuchu leaned close to my ear and whispered, 3 whole years. Are not you going crazy from holding back so long? I felt a rush of heat shoot straight from my toes to the top of my head. Cough. Cough. Sister Yuchu, watch it. We are in public. Shen Yuchu also knew that everything had to be taken step by step. After all, she had been absent from his life for so long, and their relationship had just undergone such a massive change. It was normal that he could not accept it all at once. Take it slow. Anyway, I have plenty of time. A charming smile curled her lips as she asked playfully, then tell me, do you like me more? Or Lin Jihan? Was that even a question? Obviously it was Sister Yuchu, but before it was more like family. Now it was probably more than friends, but not quite lovers. I could not even guarantee myself how long I could hold out against a woman who was both stunning and filthy rich. The smile in Shen Yuchu's eyes deepened. It seemed she was quite satisfied with this answer. But Sister Yuchu, how did you know about Ling Zihan? I do not think I ever told you anything about my ex-girlfriend, right? Hearing this, Shen Yuchu's expression changed.
Oops.
My cover is blown, but she quickly found an excuse.
Oh, that.
It is because you mentioned it at the hotel yesterday after drinking too much. When you were drunk, you kept calling out that name. I called out Lin Jihan's name when I was drunk, but I did not even feel like I loved her that much. Thinking about yesterday's events, I smiled bitterly and said, Sister Yuchu, can we make an agreement to temporarily forget what happened at the hotel yesterday? I am seriously having thoughts of moving to another planet. Shen Yuchu verbally agreed. Right. But do not lie to me. Did nothing really happen between you and Ling Jihan? Yesterday you said you two even lived together. Oh crap. I even spilled that when I was drunk. My eyes widened in shock, and I secretly swore I would never drink again in this lifetime. If I drank one more time, all my darkest secrets would be exposed. I let out a long sigh. Sister Yuchu, did not we just agree not to bring it up? Shen Yuchu gave a little humph and then pinched me. I am your wife now, for goodness sake. Can't I be a little curious about your past? Or are you planning to lie to me? A man who lies is not cute at all. Saying that, Shen Yuchu leaned her face right in. For a moment I was so nervous I forgot to breathe. But she is already my wife, so a kiss should be fine, right? Seeing this, Yuchu suddenly burst into giggles. Her breath brushed against my face, turning the tips of my ears bright red.
Just own last question. Okay.
Just answer me, won't you? What are you so shy about? I coughed, trying hard to control myself and not look at her. That living together thing was because Lin Jihan did not want to pay her own rent. So she made me rent an apartment near her company. 2 bedrooms and a living room. We slept in separate rooms. I usually just write my books at home. Actually, I do have an income, and I can support myself. By the end, my voice got softer and softer. Suddenly, I realized something very important. Wait, my computer is still at Lin Jihan's place. That computer is how I make a living. How about this then? I will have them pack up all the suits you liked earlier, and you can try them on at home.
I will go with you to pick up your computer first.
Upon arriving at the apartment building, Shen Yuchu blinked at me. Do you want me to go up with you? My heart involuntarily started racing again. I blushed and said, no need, sister. I can go by myself. Heading upstairs, I stood at the door and rang the doorbell, but there was no response. Just as I pulled out my keys to unlock it, the apartment door was suddenly shoved open from the inside. Lin Jihan was holding an ice pack to her face, glaring at me coldly. Fang Yuan, what are you doing here looking for me? I froze for a second. Sister Yuchu really hits hard, but she totally deserved it. The next moment, a smug look flashed across Lin Jihan's face. I get it now. Did Shen Yuchu kick you to the curb, so now you're coming crawling back to me? Makes sense, I suppose? The Shen family is the wealthiest in Haicheng. How could a toad ever taste swan meat? I am here to get my computer. Move. I will leave as soon as I get my stuff.
You are still with Shen Yuchu.
Based on what? Do you even deserve it? And you still want your computer? With that, Lin Jihan slammed the door shut with a loud bang. Since you have already moved out, everything left in the apartment is mine to do with as I please. You want your computer? Go pick it up downstairs. The next moment, I heard a massive crash. I looked down and saw my heavy PC case smashed into pieces on the concrete road below. I was so furious I lost my balance and almost fell over. Just then, a soft body pressed against my back, firmly holding me steady. What did Lin Jihan do? My face ashen, I pointed at the wreckage of the computer on the ground. She threw my computer out. Hearing this, instead of getting angry, Shen Yuchu laughed, threw my little brother's computer. Who does she think she is? Daring to smash the belongings of Shen Yuchu's man. Then Shen Yuchu picked up the motherboard from the ground. Leave this to me. I will find someone to fix it for you for sure. As for the files inside, do not worry. They can definitely be recovered. But since she smashed your computer today, I am definitely going to help you get revenge. Back up on the 3rd floor, Shen Yuchu knocked heavily on the door. The door stayed tightly shut from inside the room. Lin Jihan sneered provocatively. Fang Yuan, if you have the guts, let your sister Yuchu deal with me. I am not opening the door for you. What are you going to do about it? Hearing this, I gritted my teeth. In my opinion, it was impossible to try and reason with her today. Lin Jihan, I will remember what happened today. Do not let me catch you in the future. Sister Yuchu, let us go. After all, Ling Zihan's door was locked tight. Were the two of us supposed to just break and enter? But Shen Yuchu gave a cold laugh. Why should we go? She bullied my man. I am absolutely not letting her off the hook today. Give me 3 minutes. After saying this, Shen Yuchu clicked her heels and went downstairs. She was probably going to her car to get her phone. 3 minutes later, I watched as Shen Yuchu led a team of hard hat-wearing construction workers upstairs. The hallway was instantly packed with people. My mouth twitched. Sister Yuchu, what are you doing? A flash of arrogance crossed Shen Yuchu's eyes. She pointed at the tightly shut door. This unit, tear it down. Hearing the order, several workers immediately stepped forward and started working. They did not care at all whether Shen Yuchu was the owner of this apartment or not, even if tearing it down was illegal. The worst that could happen was they would quit this line of work. After all this MS, Shen was paying them way too much. The sound of power drills constantly echoed in the hallway. I watched the scene nervously. Sister Yuchu, is not this going to cause trouble?
Shen Yuchu pouted her red lips with a blooming smile.
What kind of trouble? A wife solving problems for her husband. Is not that perfectly natural? If you have any other unspeakable difficulties, you can tell me too. You know, wait, how did the topic veer off course again? Sister, This does not sound like a PG conversation. Open the door, I want off. Shen Yuchu covered her delicate mouth and giggled. How about this? If anything happens, I will just let you take the blame. Okay? Shen Yuchu smiled and pinched my cheek. Not for any other reason, but because this sweet and adorable little brother is something everyone would want Owen of. Just then, the sound of the front door collapsing finally rang out. A cloud of dust flew up. Inside the room, Lin Shihan stared outside, absolutely dumbfounded. She could not even speak, coughing frantically from the dust. She never dreamed in a million years that Shen Yuchu would actually dare to tear down her door. Shen Yuchu, this is my rented apartment. This is breaking and entering. I'm going to call the landlady right now and have her call the police. I will make you pay for this. I'm sorry. But as of today, this apartment is the property of Shen Yuchu. I can do whatever I want with it, even if I demolish it completely. There is absolutely nothing you can do about it. After saying this, Shen Yuchu pointed to her phone. If you do not believe me, why do not you call the landlady yourself to verify? Hearing this, everyone froze. A faint guess formed in their minds. It was highly likely that when Shen Yuchu went downstairs just now, she flexed her superpower of wealth once again and bought the ownership of this entire building. Sister, Yuchu really works fast. Hearing this, Lin Jian's face grew even paler. Facing the insanely wealthy eldest daughter of the Shen family, Lin Jian suffered a total defeat. Oh right, Fang Yuan and I are already legally married. I hope you stop harassing him from now on. Otherwise, I might not be so polite to you. The next moment, Shen Yuchu said calmly, Fang Yuan is my treasure. You lost him. That is completely your own loss. You have 3 hours to move out of this apartment. Otherwise, I will see you in court. Hearing this, Lin Jihan could not catch her breath. Her face flushed red with rage, and she actually fainted. I was stunned. Sister Yuchu, she looks like she fainted. What does your heart ache for her? Shen Yuchu originally thought Fang Yuan's first words would be, Sister, you are so badass. Or Sister, you are amazing. Who knew this brat actually still had the leisure to care about Lin Jihan? So Shen Yuchu pouted her red lips in annoyance. Then, why do not you take this opportunity to make up for all the things you two did not do over the last 3 years? I definitely won't tell anyone. What the heck? What things we did not do? I was dumbfounded at first. Then I immediately caught on. Sister Yuchu, are you mad? No. Do not you love caring about her? Seeing how much you care about her, why do not I help you win her back? So you two can finally be together. Shen Yuchu dropped that last sentence, then turned her head and walked out of the apartment. I quickly followed behind her, completely at a loss for what to do. How did she get angry so suddenly? Sister Yuchu,
Stop joking.
I do not like Lin Xihan at all anymore. I was just making a passing comment.
Are you?
Jealous, Shen Yuchu paused. Her beautiful big eyes landed on me. She neither admitted nor denied it. Then tell me, who do you like?
I will help you pursue her.
Meeting Shen Yuchu's gaze, I bit the bullet and answered,
I like you, Sister Yuchu.
Sure enough, the moment those words came out, Shen Yuchu's eyes curved back into beautiful crescent moons. Just then, a handsome guy with a buzz cut walked over in this direction.
Yuchu.
What a coincidence. When did you find time to stroll around our emerald apartments? If you had told me you were coming, I would have booked a restaurant for us. He was dressed in a sleek suit, giving off a strong elite white-collar vibe. Shen Yuchu just gave the newcomer a cold, indifferent glance. I had some business to attend to here. I am leaving right now. Hearing this, the man quickly blocked Shen Yuchu's path.
Yuchu.
We have been classmates for years, even if you're not enthusiastic. There is no need to be so cold, right? Grandpa Shen said before that you should socialize more with us young talents of the same age. Since we coincidentally bumped into each other today, why do not you do me the honor of having a meal together? What the heck? Hitting on my wife right in front of me? Sister Yuchu's charm really is boundless. To think she would run into a suitor even in a place like this. The next moment, I coughed and said, I am Shen Yuchu's husband. Sir, I know Sister Yuchu is outstanding and attracts a lot of men, but she is already married now. The man's expression stiffened. Shen Yuchu got married to some greenhorn kid who looks barely in his 20s. How could that be possible?
Yuchu, are you just testing me?
How could you suddenly get married? And how come I did not know about it? You must be testing me. Right. You know how I feel about you. The old man really approves of our two families. Testing you, my ass. Does our sister Yuchu have nothing better to do than to go out of her way to test you? I did not know why, but a sudden nameless anger flared up inside me. You do not need to bring Grandpa Shen into this. I just came from the Shen family mansion this morning. Sister Yuchu and I are legally married. Our relationship is protected by law. Stealing someone else's wife. Surely you would not stoop that low, right? Sir, if there is nothing else, we will be leaving now. Also, do not casually ask other men's wives out for dinner in the future. I will let it slide this time since you did not know. But if I catch you doing it again, you will face the consequences. After saying that, I grabbed Shen Yuchu's hand and pulled her straight out of there. Shen Yuchu was completely stunned. She had only hoped I would say a few words to help her shake off this annoying fly. She did not expect that in the face of his pestering. I would actually show such a fierce side. For a moment, an inexplicable sense of security filled her heart. Meanwhile, Shen Yuchu insisted on dragging me to try on the wedding suit we just bought, but I had no idea she was setting me up. While I was busy trying on clothes, Shen Yuchu picked up her phone and made a call. Butler, go to Fang Yuan's place and move all his belongings to my house. She smiled slyly, like a clever little fox whose trick had succeeded. Soon after, I walked out of the dressing room in my new suit. They say a suit is a man's armor. Clothes make the man just as a saddle makes the horse. My entire aura instantly leveled up. Shen Yuchu nodded in satisfaction. Our little brother really does look handsome and everything. How about this? I will go change into my wedding dress too. And we can look in the mirror together. But just a few minutes after she went into the room, her voice called out from inside. Little brother, come in and help me. There is a zipper in the back that I can't reach. Entering the room, I once again saw her in that snow-white wedding dress. Even though I had already seen it this morning, I still could not help but be blown away by her ethereal beauty. She was just too stunning. Seeing my reaction, a flash of triumph crossed her eyes. Dummy! What are you staring at? Hurry up and help me. I coughed lightly. Nothing. It is just that you're so beautiful. I spaced out for a second. While pulling up the zipper, my Adam's apple bobbed involuntarily. Truly worthy of being every man's dream girl. Even though I muttered that to myself very quietly, Shen Yuchu still heard it. She turned to look at me with a smiling face. Then let me interview you. How does our little Fang Yuan feel about marrying the dream goddess of all men? How does it feel? Because of that question, I stumbled and lost my footing. Stepping on the train of her wedding dress, I instantly lost my balance and fell down, pulling her with me. My lips landed perfectly on her forehead, staring at those sweet-smelling red lips. For the first time, I actually felt the urge to lean in and kiss them. Fortunately, I still had enough sense in me. I scrambled to my feet and considerately helped her straighten out her dress. I am so sorry, sister. Yuchu, I'm sorry. I did not mean to. Just then, a loud commotion erupted outside, and then over a dozen suitcases appeared in the living room. After the butler, Zhouji, put down the last suitcase, he lifted his head to report, Miss, I have moved all of the Mister's luggage here. Hearing this, I completely lost control of my facial expression. What the heck are all my things in these suitcases? When did my house get robbed? Shen Yuchu winked at Xiaoji, signaling him that he could leave. This butler really is too much of a busybody, who told him to meddle in our affairs. How could he not even consult me before bringing all your stuff over? Shen Yuchu said, putting on an angry face. Exactly. Even if you went back to your place tonight, you probably would not even have any toiletries. Not to mention, moving things back and forth is such a hassle. Look at the time. If I helped you move it all back, it would be past midnight before you unpacked and got into bed. He is just causing trouble. I will call him over right now and ask him what he was thinking. I was stunned for a moment. Forget it, sister. Yuchu, it is not really his fault. He meant well anyway. But do you have any spare rooms here? If not, I can just sleep in the study tonight. Hearing this, a smile flitted across Shen Yuchu's pretty face.
Sure.
You can sleep in the study tonight then.
You are right.
We are a married couple anyway. With Grandpa keeping such a close eye on us, we would have to live together eventually. Moving in a little earlier or later does not make much difference.
Let me help you unpack your clothes.
I will put the ones you do not need right now in the closet. I nodded numbly. Shen Yuchu then grabbed 2 suitcases and headed toward the bedroom. I stared at her back, feeling like something was a bit off. The direction she was walking seemed to be toward her own bedroom. Right? I quickly ran after her, wanting to take back my suitcases. Sister Yuchu, maybe it is better if I keep my things in the study. Shen Yuchu smiled and said, but only my bedroom has a closet. You can't just throw your personal clothes around everywhere. That is so unhygienic. Then, without waiting for an answer, she opened the wardrobe. This section is for summer clothes. I could not tell if it was intentional or not, but she specifically skipped a large drawer in the middle, so I unconsciously pointed at the drawer. Sister Yuchu, what is in this drawer?
Oh, this.
She dragged out her words, gave a mischievous smirk, and pulled the drawer wide open. Take a look for yourself. The next second, it was absolutely breathtaking. After that, I practically fled the bedroom. Sister Yuchu, I'm going to wash my face and cool down for a bit. That night, I tossed and turned in bed, unable to sleep. Just then, my phone buzzed. Are you asleep? A message from an unsaved contact. Who are you? I had just typed those 3 words, but before I could hit send, the person sent another message. I see you're typing. so you must still be awake. I miss you. I thought to myself, is this another girl with a secret crush on me? So I decisively replied, sorry, I am married. Then I pulled out my marriage certificate, took a photo, and sent it. A minute later, there was a sudden knock on the door. Before I could react, Shen Yuchu pushed the door open. You held your ground surprisingly well. But little guy, should not you explain? Why you have not saved my number with a name? In the end, she grabbed my phone and personally saved her number and name before finally letting me off the hook. Right after waking up the next morning, my buddy Hikyong called me, the dream goddess of every man in Heicheng, and you somehow actually managed to score her? Spill it. Tell me, what kind of love potion did you give the goddess? Is this some kind of TV drama plot? Did the goddess catch some weird disease and needed a live-in son-in-law to ward off the bad luck? So the Shen family reluctantly picked you.
Right, cut the crap.
I got drunk and dragged Sister Yuchu to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get married. It was my fault, so naturally I have to take responsibility for her. Are you free this afternoon? Whatever you want to know. Let us meet up and talk. I can't possibly explain the whole story in just a sentence or two. He Qiang was my only real bro in Haicheng. He would likely be my best man at the wedding. If I did not satisfy his curiosity, this guy might just back out on me. Around 2 p.m. at a restaurant, He Qiang said excitedly, holy crap, the rich lady is actually your wife. Hurry up and tell me how you two got together. Thinking back to the embarrassing events at the hotel, I got a sudden headache. But I bit the bullet and told him the entire story from beginning to end, laying out all the details. After a long pause, He Qiang stared at me with a bewildered look. So you're telling me you got drunk at the hotel and forcibly dragged CEO Shen to get a marriage license? And the craziest part is, CEO Shen did not even put up a fight. I gave a bitter smile. Sister Yuchu was worried that if I threw a drunken fit, I might ruin her face. So she had no choice but to obediently let me drag her to the Civil Affairs Bureau. Hearing this, He Qiang instantly blurted out, absolutely impossible. If you ask me, CAO Shen definitely was not forced to get that certificate. I bet it was premeditated. I shook my head like a rattle drum. No way. He Qiang sighed in exasperation. Are you really this dense, or are you just pretending? Your sister, Yuchu, is a famous judo black belt. Do you really think she could not handle a drunkard? I coughed. Maybe she was just scared I would go crazy. He Qiang sneered, the dignified eldest lady of the wealthy Shen family. Scared of a drunk throwing a tantrum. Based on your story, even if she was in the taxi and could not find security or call the police, once she got out of the taxi at the Civil Affairs Bureau, could not she find help there? In a place like the Civil Affairs Bureau, Owen screamed from her, and 7 or 8 burly guys would have jumped out to drag you away. Besides, Shen Yuchu managed to establish a firm foothold in the cutthroat business world at such a young age. Do you really think a woman that calculating would get scammed by a fresh college grad like you? Then his tone suddenly changed. I'm telling you, the only way someone could scam CEO Shen is under own condition. Unless, He Qiang dragged out the word meaningfully. Hearing this, my heartbeat involuntarily quickened a bit. I anxiously urged him. Unless what? Unless she actually wanted to marry you, duh. How do you not realize this? I was instantly struck dumb, like I would been hit by lightning. He Qiang's analysis made perfect sense. There was not a single flaw in his logic. Could it be? That Sister Yuchu actually likes me. Just then, He Qiang lowered his voice and leaned in closer to me. But you were in for some trouble. I heard CEO Shen never smiles or jokes around. She gives everyone the cold shoulder. I was stunned again. That could not be right. Even though Sister Yuchu was a bit aloof around strangers, growing up, she had always been gentle and amiable with me, especially considering everything that happened yesterday. Just thinking about it made the tips of my ears burn. Was she really that unapproachable? Just then, Shen Yuchu suddenly called me, saying she was coming to pick me up. Hearing that the goddess was coming, He Qiang, who had been eavesdropping, danced around excitedly, frantically giving me signals. Right, come on over. I'm hanging out with a friend.
Oh, right, sister. I should warn you.
It is a guy friend. Half an hour later, a crisp voice suddenly rang out from behind. What are you guys talking about? Hearing Sister Yuchu's voice, I happily whipped my head around because I was sitting in a chair and Shen Yuchu was leaning over behind me. Our heads were at almost the exact same level. The moment I turned my head, Shen Yuchu's red lips accidentally pressed right against mine, even though it only lasted a split second. Shen Yuchu flinched like a startled deer and quickly backed away. At that moment, all that remained in my mind was her stunning face so close to mine. Sister Yuchu, when did you get here? Shen Yuchu pouted her red lips, looking at me with a mix of shyness and anger. I just wanted to scare you and give you a surprise. How could you take advantage of me like that? Now look what you have done. My first kiss is gone. How am I supposed to have a second marriage now? She was shy because they had only been married for 2 days. and they had already kissed, even though it was just an accident. She was angry because that was the first kiss she had kept safe for 28 years, even though she had always planned to save it for this little guy. She did not want to just give it away so casually. There was absolutely no sense of ceremony. Hearing this, I blanked for a second. You can't have a second marriage if you have lost your first kiss. What kind of logic was that? I opened my mouth to speak. Then, why do not you find a guy who does not mind that you have kissed someone else? Shen Yuchu fiercely pinched me. What are you talking about? My mom said, kissing gets a girl pregnant. If I'm already pregnant, how can I marry anyone else? My eyes went wide. Sister Yuchu is a highly educated adult woman, after all. How could she not know better? How could kissing possibly get someone pregnant? Is not that just a lie parents tell kids? After exchanging some brief pleasantries with He-chiang, Shen Yuchu took me home. In the car, Shen Yuchu rested her hands on the steering wheel. I had my secretary find someone to repair your motherboard. They guaranteed a 100% successful repair. Really? I widened my eyes in pleasant surprise. Considering how badly the computer was smashed, I had not held out much hope for the files inside. I did not expect Sister Yuchu to actually find someone to perfectly fix it. Thank you, Sister Yuchu. Hearing this, Shen Yuchu softly pursed her red lips. If you really want to thank me, should not you use a sweeter title? A sweeter title? I then said tentatively, thank you, beautiful. Shen Yuchu remained expressionless. Thank you, fairy sister. She still did not respond. I scratched the back of my head, then suddenly had a flash of inspiration. Thank you, wifey.
You are welcome, hubby.
Her eyes instantly curved into happy little crescents, and she replied with sweet warmth. Paired with that angelic face, her sweet voice made her seem nothing like a mature woman pushing 30. It felt more like she was aging backwards, turning into an 18-year-old girl right before my eyes. That night, after showering and getting ready to head to the study to sleep, Shen Yuchu stopped me. Wait, stay and coax me to sleep before you leave. I might have drank too much coffee this afternoon, so I'm having a little trouble sleeping. In the end, I had no choice but to obediently sit by her bedside. My eyes happened to notice 3 little minions on the windowsill. My heart stirred. Sister Yuchu, I actually have a question I want to ask you. Shen Yuchu raised her eyes. What question? I took a deep breath, staring intensely at her without backing down. Sister Yuchu, the 3 little minions on your phone's lock screen, did I give those to you? Hearing this, Shen Yuchu instantly froze. So sudden. Did he discover it this quickly? But the next moment, she quickly glanced at the minions on the windowsill, feigning confusion. Little brother, what are you talking about? What minions? A sliver of disappointment flashed through my heart. Sister Yuchu, did you forget? During my junior year of college, He-chiang and I won 3 minions as prizes at the mall. We happened to bump into you. I thought carrying them around was too much of a hassle, so I gave them to you. Are not the minions on your lock screen those exact 3? Hearing this, Shen Yuchu put on an act. She rested her chin on her hand, pretending to think for a moment. Really? That happened, but I do not remember at all. I got my minion dolls from watching a movie. Have not. We lost touch for many years. Did you even see me 2 years ago? A flash of embarrassment crossed my face. I felt like I had completely made a fool of myself. To actually dream that the aloof goddess had a secret crush on me. Little brother, you do not actually think I have a crush on you, do you? Having my inner thoughts exposed, my face flushed completely red. Sister, I'm a bit tired. I'm going to get some rest. You should sleep early too. With that, I fled out of the bedroom as if I were escaping. Inside the room, Shen Yuchu broke into a bright smile. Good thing this little guy is easy to fool. Otherwise, where would I put my pride? In front of a guy 8 years younger than her, admitting to a one-sided crush for 13 years. The proud Shen Yuchu would never put herself at such a disadvantage. At the very least, she had to wait until Fang Yuan completely fell in love with her before telling him the truth. After all, men never cherish things they get too easily. Early the next morning, I went to the shopping mall to get the style of Sister Yuchu's wedding dress altered. Arriving at the entrance of the suit shop we visited before, I coughed to get the sales assistant's attention. Hello, I am the husband of the lady who bought the wedding dress here previously. The saleswoman was instantly startled upon seeing me.
You are CEO Shen's husband.
Young Master Fang is here. Quick! Notify the mall's men's section to clear the area. Because of the bad experience young Master Fang had in the suit shop last time, the men's section is closed for business today. It will only reopen after young Master Fang leaves. As soon as those words came out, countless surrounding shops also started putting up signs saying closed for the day, and operations suspended. Just operate normally. Besides, I'm not here to buy clothes. I just want to have the style of Sister Yuchu's wedding dress altered. Hearing this, the saleswoman nodded understandingly. Since I had explicitly said so, she naturally would not force the issue. Just then, a preppy, arrogant voice reached my ears. Pick whatever you like. Take your time. You guys do not usually get the chance to visit high-end places like this, but this mall is owned by my sister-in-law, so just treat it like your own home. I saw a flashy, overdressed young man, leading 3 or 4 young girls toward our direction. He was surrounded by women, treated like a star surrounded by the moon. From the look on the man's face, it was not hard to tell that he was thoroughly enjoying the attention. I took Owen look and looked away, quietly waiting for the wedding dress to be altered. However, 2 or 3 minutes later, a fierce argument suddenly broke out next door. I gave you face, did not I? I said, put it on my tab. My sister-in-law will take care of it. Do you not want to keep your job at this mall? How dare you disobey me? The trembling voice of a saleswoman slowly rang out.
Young Master G.
The items your friends took are simply too expensive. Especially this Heart of Eternity. It is the crown jewel of our store, worth over $1 million. And the last time you told us to put things on your tab, CEO Shen explicitly said, we should ignore you. How about I give CEO Shen a call before she could finish? That arrogant voice rose by dozens of decibels. Shen Yuchu is the daughter-in-law my G family has its eyes on. She will be my brother's woman sooner or later. Her things are my G family's things. How dare you disrespect me? G Boxiao. At that moment, the jewelry store manager stepped in with an apologetic smile, pulling the saleswoman aside. Young Master G, it is like this. CEO Shen's husband happens to be in the mall today. Why do not you discuss it with him? As long as young Master Fang agrees, you can take all these jewels away today. Ji Boxiao was visibly stunned. Young Master Fang, it was obvious he had never heard the news of Shen Yuchu's marriage. The next second, he flew into a raging fury. Are you playing me? In all of Haicheng. Who would dare steal a woman from my brother? If he has the guts, tell him to come out and face me. With someone blatantly provoking me like this, if I kept ignoring it, I would practically be a Ninja Turtle. Regardless of whether my feelings for Sister Yuchu were clear, at present, we were a legally married couple. I stood up and walked over. I am Fang Yuan, and I am Shen Yuchu's husband. Just then, Owen of the girls behind Ji Boxiao whined coquettishly. Brother Boxiao, I really like that piece of jewelry. Hearing this, Ji Boxiao gave a wicked smirk. Do not worry, as long as you like it. I will get it for you. Then he looked at me with sheer contempt. Kid, where did you crawl out from? Since when did Shen Yuchu become your wife? Have not you ever heard of the twin dragons of the Ji family? Stealing a woman from my older brother Ji Boda? Have you thought about the consequences? You have the nerve to call yourselves the twin dragons of the Ji family. I have honestly never heard of you. Also, if you want something from the jewelry store, swipe your own card and pay for it. If you want credit, sign an IOU. It is the 21st century. Robbery is illegal. Hearing this, countless onlooking employees secretly applauded in their hearts. Some bystanders even burst into laughter. They had long been fed up with the arrogant and domineering Ji Boxiao. Seeing my calm demeanor, Ji Boxiao, being a second-generation rich kid, at least had some shrewdness to him. He narrowed his eyes and asked, which prominent family are you from? I am not from Oan. Ji Boxiao completely lost his temper. Do you even know the relationship between my brother and Shen Yuchu? Yet you dare to wade into this muddy water. I shook my head again. I was completely clueless. To be honest, I really did not know. Sister Yuchu and I had not been in touch for years. Why would an ordinary person like me pay attention to the affairs of high society? Having figured out my background, Ji Boxiao completely let his guard down. Shen Yuchu and my brother have an arranged marriage. It is a powerful alliance between two high society families.
You do not know a damn thing.
Yet you dare to butt in where you do not belong. As soon as he finished speaking, the girls behind him also let out haughty sounds of disdain. Ji Boxiao smiled smugly. Did you hear me, sales clerk? Hurry up and pack those things for me right this instant. Young Master Fang, what do you think we should do? The jewelry store owner was also unsure of what to do, and could only look at me with a bitter smile. Just call the police. Whatever relationship Sister Yuchu and your brother might have in the future. Right now, she is my wife, since she gave those instructions before. Then, regarding the items in the jewelry store today, if you do not pay, you are not taking a single piece with you. Ji Boxiao's smug expression instantly froze. If this escalated to the police station, he would definitely be the ON at a disadvantage. Ji Boxiao gritted his teeth. Kid, I will remember you. Just you wait. Wait until my brother gets back to deal with you. After saying that, Ji Boxiao fumed and started walking in the opposite direction, cursing as he went. I'm going to call my brother right now and tell him the true colors of that so-called fiancé of his, some goddess of the business world, my foot. Hearing this, my face darkened. Stop right there! Ji Boxiao halted his steps. He sneered and asked, regretting it, afraid my brother will get revenge on you? Let me tell you, it is too late. You are already finished. When my brother returns,
You are going to suffer endlessly.
I'm sorry, but the Owen who is finished today is you. I only said you could not take the jewelry. I never said you were allowed to leave. Go get security and detain these troublemakers. The faces of the young girls behind Ji Boxiao instantly paled. Their expressions were filled with shock and uncertainty. Brother Boxiao, What is going on? What are you trying to do? Brother Boxiao is the second young master of the Ji family in Haicheng. Ji Boxiao casually reassured them with a sentence, then gritted his teeth and glared at me. When my brother gets back, I will definitely make him reward you generously to vent my anger. I will also have him record a video and post it online so everyone can see. Before he could finish, I suddenly appeared right in front of him. A slap landed squarely on his face. You dare hit me. Ji Boxiao clutched his cheek, his face full of disbelief. For humiliating my wife like that, this is getting off lightly. Now, apologize to Sister Yuchu in front of everyone. Otherwise, I do not mind giving you a few more slaps. Saying this, I rolled my wrists, exuding an aura of neither subservience nor arrogance. The women following Ji Boxiao, seeing this, immediately started shouting their condemnations. They were all filled with righteous indignation. Not only did they fail to get the jewelry today, but they had also been thoroughly humiliated. Naturally, they were extremely unhappy with me. Ji Boxiao gritted his teeth, glaring at me. I barely said 2 words about Shen Yuchu, and you can't handle it. Let me tell you, no matter how furious you get, the outcome won't change. My brother will teach Shen Yuchu a lesson. The slap you gave me today will be returned in full to Shen Yuchu tomorrow. When that happens, I will be sure to invite you to watch closely. My chest tightened, and my eyes narrowed. Flashing a dangerous look, I stepped forward, grabbed Ji Boxiao by the collar and slapped him left and right. A flurry of loud smacks instantly echoed out. Ji Boxiao's face swelled up like a pig's. Fear flashed in his eyes. He stumbled back several steps, almost falling on his butt. He pointed at me, mumbling, "Crazy. The dog Shen Yuchu keeps has gone rabid. Regarding today's matter, if Shen Yuchu does not apologize to me, I absolutely will not let this go. I want to see if Shen Yuchu will actually protect you, right?" At that moment, the crisp sound of high heels clicking against the floor echoed out. A slender, beautiful figure with an overwhelming presence, radiating a bone-chilling aura, appeared directly in front of me. Without any hesitation, the woman raised her delicate hand and delivered a resounding slap. Who do you think you are? Do you think you have the right to demand an apology from me, Shen Yuchu? You even dare to threaten my husband. If you have the guts, declare war on my Shen family. Let us see who perishes first. Shen Yuchu slowly turned her head and looked at me with concern. Are you all right, little brother? Next time you hit a foul-mouthed beast like this, do not use your hand. The force of the impact is mutual. If your hand hurts from hitting him, my heart will ache for you. Understood. After saying that, Shen Yuchu proactively took my hand and gently rubbed it. The moment she made this intimate gesture, I could not help but look bashful. There were still people watching us. Actually, Shen Yuchu had arrived several minutes earlier, but when she first entered the mall, she decided to casually stroll around the second floor first. Today happened to be the day for her routine inspection of the mall's operations. Even though she had only been separated from me for less than 2 hours, an inexplicable sense of emptiness flashed through Shen Yuchu's heart. She missed her easily flustered little guy. She did not expect that as soon as she reached the first floor, she would see Ji Boxiao standing in front of me, spouting absolute nonsense. Shen Yuchu initially wanted to step in right away, but to her surprise, I stood up for her first. So she simply stood nearby, observing quietly. She also wanted to see how I would handle the arrogant and domineering Ji Boxiao. Clearly, judging by the expression on her face right now, she was very satisfied with my actions. Shen Yuchu, what is the meaning of this? Ji Boxiao had lost his previous arrogance. If his brother were standing here, maybe he could speak with Shen Yuchu on equal footing. My meaning is very clear. Fang Yuan slapped you a few times because you insulted his wife. Hitting you was completely justified. I hit you because you insulted my husband. Hitting you was equally justified. If you intend to go head-to-head with Fang Yuan, then our two families will clash, and we will see if your GI family actually has what it takes. Saying this, Shen Yuchu wrapped her arm around mine and flashed a breathtaking, lethal smile. But I can guarantee you, caught in the middle of a conflict you provoked, you will undoubtedly be the first casualty. Hearing this, cold sweat poured down Ji Boxiao's forehead. He was nothing more than all talk and empty threats. A useless rich kid like him had no authority to represent the Ji family. He just never dreamed that I would be so important to Shen Yuchu. Shen Yuchu. Let us put everything else aside. Finding a man behind my brother's back is an absolute violation of your marriage agreement. Shen Yuchu raised an eyebrow. Non-committal. Marriage agreement. A passing remark your father made to my grandfather that has not even been written on paper. Coming from your mouth, you make it sound as if I, Shen Yuchu, have already married into the Ji family. I will count to 3. If you do not want to see a war between the Shen and Ji families, disappear from my sight immediately. In the end, Ji Boxiao did not have the face to stay any longer. He abruptly turned around and walked out of the mall. As the farce came to an end, Shen Yuchu clapped her delicate hands. Right. Everyone's seen enough of the show. Now, let me officially introduce my husband to you all. The son-in-law of the Shen family, From now on, as long as young Master Fang is present, you do not need to report anything to me. Just go directly to young Master Fang. His word is my word. Hearing this, I was shocked and waved my hands frantically. No way, sister. I do not know anything about this stuff. How could I possibly be qualified to make decisions for you? What if I mess up? Shen Yuchu smiled, her eyes gleaming with tenderness. You did perfectly fine just now. I was completely mesmerized for a moment, but when I snapped back to reality, the words Ji Boxiao had spoken suddenly resurfaced in my mind. Even though I did not think Sister Yuchu actually had a secret crush on me, hearing that she had a marriage agreement filled my heart with a deep sense of unease. The crowd gradually dispersed, and the mall returned to its usual peaceful state. Shen Yuchu cast her beautiful eyes toward me, noticing the gloomy look on my face. What is wrong, little brother? Still thinking about what Ji Boxiao said, I pursed my lips and could not hold back the question. Sister Yuchu, are you? Are you really going to marry Ji Boxiao's older brother in the future? Marry Jiboda? Shen Yuchu furrowed her brows, then immediately realized that her little guy was actually jealous. She bit her lip and let out a charming giggle. Then do you want me to marry someone else? Of course not. I almost blurted it out, but in the end, I only dared to think it silently in my heart. If we had not gotten our marriage certificate through that misunderstanding, would Sister Yuchu have just followed a set path? Shen Yuchu would continue living her life as a female CEO. Continuing to live her life as a female CEO. Continuing to live her life as a female CEO. Our lives would have absolutely zero overlap, and I would not have appeared in her life at all. Then, when the time was right, Sister Yuchu would most likely find a family of equal status and tie the knot, just like the Ji family. Her marriage partner, even if it was not Jiboda, could be some other guy who pops out of nowhere, and I would only act as a childhood friend, attending her wedding, wishing her a lifetime of happiness, watching her being held in another man's arms. Just thinking about it made my chest feel tight. Shen Yuchu seemed to read my mind. She gently leaned her exquisite face closer. Do not worry, I won't marry anyone else. Are not we getting along perfectly fine? I definitely do not want a second marriage. After saying that, Shen Yuchu reached out and affectionately patted my head. Her eyes held a deep tenderness that outsiders never got to see. As for what Ji Boxiao said, do not take it to heart. It was all completely made up. Her tone was calm, but it carried an undeniable sense of authority. The Ji family did approach my grandfather about a marriage alliance, but my grandfather flat out refused. But that kid goes around treating himself like my brother-in-law. He even uses it as a bargaining chip to get freebies around the mall. Shen Yuchu's gaze grew a bit colder. When I eventually found out, I gave a strict order. No matter who it is, if anyone from the Ji family comes to our stores, show them zero special treatment. They have to pay like everyone else. I just did not expect he would actually dare to pick a fight with you today. A cold smirk curled on her lips. It was the domineering aura of the Queen of Haicheng.
Bullying my man.
Does he really think I'm someone to be messed with? Hearing this, my face involuntarily flushed red. So, it was all just a misunderstanding. Not only did Sister Yuchu not have a marriage agreement, but she was fiercely defending me. The heavy weight pressing on my chest instantly vanished. My mood suddenly became completely light and breezy.
Oh right.
Sister Yuchu, my parents are coming back tomorrow. I awkwardly scratched my head. Since we have already gotten our marriage certificate, meeting the parents is a mandatory step. We can't exactly tell them after the wedding is already over. Shen Yuchu nodded slightly, her red lips curling into an enticing smile.
Sure.
It is about time I met Uncle and Auntie. Do you still have work to take care of? I pointed upstairs. I will stay here and supervise the wedding dress alterations. I will message you when it is done. If you're not busy by then, you can come down and try it on. I do have a few friends waiting for me in the tea room on the 3rd floor. Shen Yuchu replied. Then she turned and headed upstairs. On the 3rd floor inside the tea room, the 3 top socialites of Haicheng, the Wu family's heiress, Wu Yabe, the Song family's eldest princess, Song Yu, the Zheng family's shipping magnate, Zheng Ronghe. Right now, they were all staring in unison at Shen Yuchu as she walked through the door. Well, our bride is finally willing to show her face. Wuyabe was the first to tease her. The other 2 also burst into laughter. Shen Yuchu rolled her eyes at her besties in faux annoyance. You 3. How come you have the time to come here and interrogate me today? How could we not? Wu Jiabe leaned in close to Shen Yuchu, her eyes full of burning curiosity. This flash marriage of yours caught us completely off guard. Seriously, were you completely bewitched by some young boy toy? With a massive Shen family fortune, are you really willing to just share it with some random guy? Shen Yuchu picked up her teacup and took a delicate sip. Her tone revealed a profound sense of deep affection. Jiabe, do not joke about this. In this lifetime, If I could not marry the person I have loved for 13 years, I would rather grow old and die alone. As soon as she said that, the air in the tier room instantly froze. Zheng Rong, his eyes widened in shock. Wait, are you saying
Your flash marriage partner.
is that exact man you have secretly had a crush on for 13 years? The one you used to get drunk and cry over, saying you would not marry anyone but him. Although Shen Yuchu did not say a word, the glowing smile in her eyes silently confirmed everything. Her three best friends gasped. This is not a flash marriage at all. This is a literal fairy tale coming true after waiting for so long. Just then, Shen Yuchu's phone pinged with a voice message. She instinctively clicked it open. My voice played from the phone. Sister, the wedding dress is done, being altered. Do you want to come down and try it on? That sister sounded incredibly magnetic and gentle.
Oh, wow.
Weabe looked at Shen Yuchu with playful disdain. You two are already calling each other sister and brother. Cao Shen, you really are living the dream with such a sweet voice. Sweet talking in your ear every single day. How can you even handle it? Shen Yuchu elegantly stood up, smoothed out her skirt, and announced with a smug, humble, bragging expression. Right. Do not invite me to any events after 9 p.m. from now on. I need to go home and keep my husband company. Remember to show up as my bridesmaids at the wedding next week. With that, under the jealous gazes of her besties, she confidently strutted straight downstairs. Over the following days, my dynamic with Shen Yuchu felt more and more like that of a truly newlywed couple. Early the next morning, I had just finished washing up when Shen Yuchu's slightly lazy voice called out from the bedroom. Little brother, I can't find that pair of black stockings. Help me grab a new pair from the drawer. I froze for a moment, my cheeks flushing with heat. I dug out a brand new pair of pantyhose from the living room drawer and walked to the door. Just as I was hesitating whether to go inside, another urging voice came from within. Hurry up, I'm running late for a meeting. I steeled my nerves and pushed the door open. Shen Yuchu was sitting on the edge of the bed. Her fair, slender calves were partially exposed. That scene, so mature, elegant, yet deeply intimate and domestic, made me instantly hold my breath. Thank you, little brother. How about you help me put them on? She deliberately dragged out her tone, her eyes filled with a teasing smile. Sister Yuchu, stop messing around. I am going to serve breakfast. Like a frightened rabbit, I dropped the stockings, turned, and bolted. Behind me, I could hear her bell-like laughter.
Little rascal. You are actually blushing.
After breakfast, we headed straight to the Haicheng airport. Today was the day. My parents were flying back to the country. At the airport exit, a middle-aged couple in their 50s, yet full of energy, walked out pushing their luggage. Shen Yuchu was the first to rush forward to greet them. Uncle Fang. Auntie ran.
You are finally back.
Oh my, if it is not Yuchu. My mother grabbed Shen Yuchu's hand in pleasant surprise. I have not seen you in 2 years, and you have grown even more beautiful. How is your grandfather's health doing? My dad, on the other hand, had a look of deep gratification.
Yuchu.
You are the head of the Shen group now. You must be incredibly busy. How did you find the time to come pick us up with Fang Yuan? I stood off to the side, scratching my head and grinning foolishly, but my heart was pounding like a drum. Uncle, Auntie, actually, Shen Yuchu glanced at my nervous face, then boldly locked her arm with mine, intertwining our fingers. Fang Yuan and I have already legally registered our marriage. From now on, I am the daughter-in-law of the Fang family.
What?
My parents looked as if they had been struck by lightning. My dad froze for a long time, then stared at me with a profound look.
You brat.
What kind of magic potion did you feed Yuchu? How could such an outstanding girl ever fall for you? Even though they playfully roasted me, our two families were lifelong friends after all. That night, the four of us brought gifts and headed to the Shen family mansion. Grandpa Shen had already been waiting for a long time. After a few rounds of drinks, the conversation drifted back to our childhoods. Old Fang. Back in the day, I actually wanted to set up an arranged marriage between our families. Grandpa Shen sighed emotionally, his face flushed from the alcohol. But I was afraid the kids just would not be meant for each other. But look at it now. After all these years, they still ended up together. My mom laughed and chimed in. Exactly. This brat Fang Yuan made a fool of himself plenty of times when he was a kid. Do you guys remember the first time he came over to the Shen house? I looked completely bewildered. My first time at the Shen house, what did I do? Shen Yuchu suddenly started coughing violently. She leaned into my ear and whispered a threat. Shut up. Do not ask. Otherwise, I will teach you a lesson when we get home. But my mom had no intention of letting me off the hook. At that time, we were all chatting in the living room. The nanny took Fang Yuan out to play in the yard, but in the blink of an eye, he disappeared. We eventually found him in Yuchu's bedroom. And then, I pressed on. My mom laughed so hard she was rocking back and forth. This kid, heaven knows where he heard the story of Sleeping Beauty. But he saw Yuchu taking a nap and insisted that the older sister was dying of thirst. He said he was going to save her life, so he grabbed a little watering can and started spraying water all over Yuchu. And while he was spraying her, he yelled, "Sister, wake up. I am giving you water." The dining room instantly erupted into roaring laughter. Even Grandpa Shen was laughing so hard he was slapping his knee. I was so mortified I wanted the ground to swallow me whole. I turned to look at Shen Yuchu. Her pretty face was beet red. She glared at me through gritted teeth. Fang Yuan, that life-saving grace of yours from when we were kids. I will never forget it for the rest of my life. Just then, Shen Yuchu's younger sister, Shen Shiyu, ran in from the front door. Seeing the two of us snuggled close together, her eyes almost popped out of her head. Sister, you really married Brother Fang Yuan? Shen Shiyu looked completely in disbelief. I mean, Brother Fang Yuan is a great guy, but
Did not you say?
you were going to marry that man you have watched over for 13 years. I froze. Shen Yuchu looked at me, then looked at her sister. Finally, she gently took my hand, her tone as soft as water.
Shiyu.
Have not you ever heard the saying, fate is predestined? The person I have been waiting for all these 13 years has been right beside me this entire time. At that exact moment, I finally understood. All those coincidences were actually the result of a long premeditated, profound love. However, a wealthy family's wedding is never just a simple celebration. A week before the wedding, the eldest son of the GI family, Jiboda, returned from abroad. This was the man who always proclaimed himself to be Shen Yuchu's only worthy match, and even declared that anyone who dared to touch Shen Yuchu would have to cross him. That day, Shen Yuchu and I were inspecting our mall. Jiboda, followed by a group of bodyguards, aggressively blocked our path.
Yuchu.
Is this some kind of joke? Jiboda shot me a contemptuous glance, his eyes dark and cold, finding some neighborhood little brother to put on an act, just so you can get out of our family's partnership.
Listen here, kid.
If you know what is good for you, get lost. You do not have what it takes to eat from the Shen family's bowl. Shen Yuchu was just about to explode in anger, but I stepped in front of her. I looked directly at this so-called business elite and spoke, enunciating every single word. Gee, first of all, this is not an act. We have a legal marriage certificate. Secondly, Sister Yuchu is not anyone's bargaining chip. She is her own independent person. Lastly, whether I have what it takes to eat from the Shen family's bowl or not does not matter. What matters is, I have what it takes to protect her heart. Fine. You have got some nerve. Jiboda sneered coldly. He turned and stormed off with his men, watching his retreating figure. Shen Yuchu grabbed my hand with a look of worry. Fang Yuan, the Ji family is deeply rooted and powerful. I'm worried he might try to hurt you. I squeezed her hand back and smiled. Do not worry. I am a writer. Even though I do not have his kind of money, I still have my own confidence. If push comes to shove, I will just write a few more best-selling novels and hand all my royalties over to you. I will make you the happiest rich housewife in all of Haicheng. Shen Yuchu burst out into a sweet giggle. The worry in her eyes completely faded away, replaced by a brilliant, starry sparkle. The day of the wedding at the Century Grand Hotel. It was the most nerve-wracking day of my life. My best man, He Qiang, helped me adjust my bow tie, clicking his tongue in absolute marvel. The dream girl of every man in this city actually got swept away by a guy like you. As the wedding march began to play, the grand doors slowly pushed open. Shen Yuchu, wearing the wedding dress I had personally helped alter, looked like a fairy descending to the mortal realm. At that exact moment, the entire venue went completely silent. When Grandpa Shen placed her hand into mine, his eyes were also rimmed with red. I solemnly took her hand. In that moment, I felt an unprecedented sense of responsibility. Suddenly, Shen Yuchu leaned close to my ear and whispered softly,
You brat.
You won't be able to run away from me for the rest of your life. I froze. A memory suddenly flashed in my mind. 13 years ago, summer in the old alleyway. That day, because her parents were getting divorced, Shen Yuchu hid in the alleyway crying. I was the Owen who ran over to her, stuffed my most prized Ultraman action figure into her hands, and awkwardly patted her back, saying, Do not cry, sister. Ultraman will protect you. I finally completely understood. There was never any accidental mistake. This secret crush lasting 13 years had its seeds planted way back in that summer. She chose to be compliant that day at the hotel. Not because she could not fight back, but because she had finally waited for the moment when she could drop all her disguises. 1 year later, at the Haicheng Maternity Hospital, I was pacing like an ant on a hot pan, pacing back and forth nervously in the hallway. Accompanied by the crisp sound of a baby crying, the nurse pushed the door open and smiled. Congratulations, Mr. Fang. It is a little princess. I rushed straight into the hospital room and saw Shen Yuchu's weak yet incredibly happy smiling face. She looked down at the tiny, delicate little life swaddled in blankets and said softly,
Fang Yuan, look.
She looks exactly like you. I took her hand and kissed her forehead. You have worked so hard, my beautiful goddess wife. Outside the window, the sun is shining brightly, just like the rest of our days together. From the girl next door to the city's goddess, and finally to the woman by my side. This secret crush that spanned 13 long years has finally blossomed into the most beautiful flower.